I still remember the first time I met Mr. Richard Thompson, my boss. It was my first job in Chicago, working at a mid-sized marketing firm that had recently been expanding. I had just graduated from college, full of ambition but nervous about stepping into the professional world. The moment I walked into the sleek glass building, I knew this place would change my life in more ways than I could imagine. Mr. Thompson was known throughout the office as a disciplined yet kind leader. He wasn't the type to hover over you or micromanage. Instead, he believed in giving people freedom to create while still setting high expectations. At first, he seemed a little intimidating to me, sharp suits, a strong voice, and an aura of authority that made everyone sit straighter when he entered the room. But as days turned into weeks, I began to see another side of him, approachable, witty, and deeply invested in the growth of his employees. It all started one Friday afternoon. We had just wrapped up a major client presentation that I had spent weeks preparing for. My nerves had been at their peak during the meeting, but everything went smoothly. Afterward, Mr. Thompson called me into his office. My heart raced as I stepped inside, afraid I had made some mistake. Instead, he smiled warmly. "You did a fantastic job today, Emily," he said. "Your research was sharp, and your confidence really impressed the clients. I can see you've got a bright future here." I felt my cheeks flush with pride. It was the first time my boss had praised me directly. Then, to my surprise, he added, "Why don't you come over to my house tomorrow evening? I'm hosting a small gathering, just some colleagues, friends, and a few neighbors. It'll be casual, and I think it'll be good for you to connect with more people outside the office environment." I hesitated. I had never been invited to a boss's house before. But he seemed so genuine that I nodded. "Thank you, sir. I'd be honored." The next day, I found myself standing outside his suburban home. It wasn't a mansion, but it was elegant, wide porch, neat garden, and warm lights glowing from inside. I took a deep breath and knocked. His wife, Linda, greeted me at the door with a kind smile. She was graceful, welcoming, and instantly made me feel comfortable. Inside, the atmosphere was relaxed, soft music played, people mingled with glasses of iced tea, and laughter filled the rooms. I quickly realized this wasn't about formality or impressing anyone. It was about community. I met his teenage son, who was preparing for college, and his daughter, who was working on her first art exhibition. They spoke to me as if I wasn't just an employee of their father but a guest they genuinely wanted to know. Throughout the evening, Mr. Thompson moved from group to group, checking on everyone, introducing me to people, and making sure I never felt out of place. At one point, he pulled me aside. "Emily, I invited you here because I see potential in you," he said. "Work is important, yes, but so are relationships, values, and balance. You'll go far in your career if you remember that success isn't only about numbers, it's about people." Those words stayed with me. I realized then that my boss wasn't just a leader in the office, he was a mentor who genuinely cared. Later that night, as I was leaving, Linda handed me a small plate of homemade cookies. "Come by any time, dear," she said. "We consider everyone Richard believes in as part of our extended family." From that evening on, my perspective on work shifted. I no longer saw the office as just a place to earn a paycheck. It became a community, a space to grow both personally and professionally. Mr. Thompson continued guiding me, sometimes challenging me, but always supporting me. Years later, when I was promoted to a senior position, I thought back to that night at his house. The simple invitation had turned into a turning point, teaching me lessons about kindness, leadership, and the power of believing in others. Answer: when people ask me about the most important moment in my career, I don't mention the big presentation, the promotions, or the projects. I tell them about the evening my boss invited me to his home, where I discovered that true leadership isn't about authority, it's about humanity.